What's up, everybody? How's everyone doing out there today? Welcome back to Wildcat MTG. And today I thought we'd revisit DMR, a little Dominaria Remastered with a collector box. Yeah, you know what? I mean, for those of you watching and regularly watching, you know that we've opened up quite a bit of Dominaria Remastered on this channel, and it's a product that I gravitate towards. I think for the price and what is potentially achievable or obtainable in this set, I think there's some good outcomes there. I was having this comment/conversation exchange in one of my previous videos with somebody, and we're kind of discussing that DMR has a wide range of outcomes because the duplication is definitely going to be a thing in this box. There's going to be multiple rares and mythics that we pull 3 or even, sometimes even 4 copies of in a single box. So infamous for duplication. Sometimes that duplication is your friend, and sometimes that duplication is not your friend. And depending on the outcome of that, could be in for a really good time or a really bad time. With that being said, why don't we go ahead and dive on in and let's try our hand and see where we end up. All right, so as of the filming of this video, DMR boxes are sitting at about $195. They really haven't moved. I think for me, that's kind of one of the things I still find to be appealing about this product. Is that while the sealed market has really been on an upward trend overall for the last, well, for much of this year, but last 6 or 7 months, DMR really hasn't moved. I suspect that at least in part of that is because of because of the volatility of these packs. But there's some really good playable commons and uncommons in the set. There are some good rares, and there is a wide range of outcomes on Mythic specifically. There is some really good top end stuff and a lot of really bad low-end stuff. So let's see how we fare. We're going to start off with a Shivan Dragon in the retro frame foil. Good old Shivan Dragon. Into a Grim Lavamancer in the borderless. I will say that the art on the borderless cards in the set is really top-notch. Into a Hinterland Harbor. It's a good playable land, rare land. Probably not hitting our $3 threshold, but I still put it up top as a playable. And then in Arcades, Sabbath as our foil. Pack foil, got a Frantic Search, double Frantic Search. Gotta love the retro frame foil lands. And that will do it for the first pack. Let's do this with the retro frames. We'll put these over here. Got some piles. Okay. Yeah, I will say the mythic count is also kind of all over the map in these. I've seen boxes in the 4 or 5 range, and I've seen boxes in the 7, 8 range. I don't know if I've seen 3, but I've definitely seen 4. All right, second retro frame, this time a retro frame foil land. It is a Clifftop Retreat. That's kind of cool. Hey, there's a really good one. Excellent. I would not mind seeing duplication from Vampiric Tutor. That is a beautiful pull. I think Borderless Tutor is still around $45, so that is one of the hits you really want to see. That is perfect. Strong Vampiric Tutor. How about our third of the check lands? That's really weird. By the way, no duplication yet. They're all different, so that's really interesting. Sulfuric Vortex. I think the regular frame, I think the retro frame isn't worth much, but for whatever reason, the regular version and the pack foil version, it actually, I think, is about $4 or $5, so that is kind of technically a hit. A little Sarah Angel, beautiful in that retro frame. Into our beautiful land, and our commons and uncommons after that. I was really thinking about whether or not I want to tempt fate with DMR again, because after opening several very mediocre boxes, I finally struck gold, and I think my last box had multiple Force of Wills and some other really good stuff in it. I do think it also had 4 World Gorger Dragons, which was super weird. But I was like, you know what? Let's give it a shot. There's enough goodies in here that we're going to take our chances. And hey, so far, so good with the Vamp Tutor. Okay. I shouldn't have said anything. Golly jeep. All right. Borderless foil World Gorger Dragon. The funny part is that when this set first came out, this actually did carry a really nice premium on it as a borderless foil World Gorger. At this point, I don't believe that's the case anymore. Maybe a few bucks. I'm not quite sure, but I would not suspect it to be a mega hit anymore. All right, so that's our second mythic. We can go ahead and cool it with that. Mazavith, strong rare in this set. I think the borderless version is probably somewhere in the neighborhood of $6 to $7, so that is actually not bad. We will definitely take that. Very cool. All right. Our next mythic is a retro frame Gauntlet of Power. I've said this many times. Actually, prior to the reprint in this, and I think it was in Time Spiral Remastered, Gauntlet of Power was a really expensive card. It was really getting up there. Unfortunately, not the case anymore. Maybe just a couple of bucks now. Kind of the womp womp mythics. There are many of them, as I pointed out. But it is a mythic nonetheless. Pyro Zombie as a foil rare. Seer Chainer's Edict Borderless, Icy Manipulator, and beautiful Mark Pool foil retro frame land into our commons and uncommons. All right, there are some actually pretty good uncommons. Nature's Lore. Gosh, what am I thinking of? Damping Sphere. Elvish Spirit Guide. There are some actually really good Swords of Plowshares. And then we have a Counterspell at common. So there are some stuff. There are some things worth getting at that level. Okay, here we go. How about a retro frame? I did say that duplication was a thing in this set. A retro frame foil Gauntlet of Power this time. Okay, not exactly what we wanted to see there. Into Arborea as a borderless Arborea. Mind Slicer as a retro frame. And hey, there we go. There we go. You know what? I can put up with World Gorgers and Gauntlets of Power if you're going to also throw me Vampiric Tutors and Force of Wills. Abso-freaking-lutely. That is a pack foil Force of Will. I want to say this is around the neighborhood about $50 still. Force of Will took a major hit to value when this set was produced because so much of it was produced. There's a lot of DMR out there, especially draft boxes. Well, I will take $50 Force of Wills all day. Let's go. Let's go. That's perfect. Hey, retro frame foil Counterspell. That's a few bucks. Momentary Blink. The Juggernaut. All right. That's what I'm talking about. I love Fire Blast as a reprint in the set as well. Very cool. That puts us on a really good pace. So that was through pack 4 of the first column of the box. And we have ourselves a Borderless Vamp Tutor and a Force of Will pack foil. That's great. Along with the Maze of Ith and the Sulfuric Vortex, some pretty good value going on right now. We are in great shape. Okay, let's keep that train moving. Lotus Blossom as a retro frame foil rare. Yeah, all right. Into Denizen of the Deep, we were required to get at least 1 to 3 of these per box. There's our first. And hey, Gemstone Mine. I know it's not a value train, but I love me some Gemstone Mine. Retro frame is great. And another, again, very playable land. May not be a value draw, but still, as far as playables are concerned, I will take that as my small value cards. Wrath of God, very nice. There's a pack foil Wrath of God. I think Wrath of God's sitting around 2 to 3. I don't think it's quite 3. I will put it down below, but I'll price check afterwards. I could be wrong. Spirit Monger, yep. Ship's Caretaker, another Seer, into our beautiful Plains. Hey, there's a regular Damping Sphere. That's probably a few bucks. I think the retro frame foil Damping Sphere, if you were to pull one, is upwards of 10. So as an uncommon, not bad. All right, last pack of the first half of the box. The Vampiric Tutor and Force of Will put us in great shape to begin with. Here we go. Spinal Embrace as a retro frame foil rare. Meh. Into Entomb, but there is a rare I am very happy to see. Love me some Entomb. I think Borderless Entomb, for some reason, is like the cheapest version of it, but I still think that these are around 8 to 10 bucks. So I will take that. Borderless Entomb, very, very nice. Into Chainer, Master of Dementia, and then a Glory as a pack foil rare. Nice little foil Duress, Counterspell, and Drown Loose Crusade as our retro frames. And now we are into our regular commons and uncommons. Hey, pretty smoking first half of the box, though. If you're going to give me a Force of Will, Vamp Tutor, Entomb, and some other playables in there, yeah, that's just fine with me. All right, into the second half we go. We have seen a little bit of duplication in the Gauntlet of Power, but we have not seen near the level of duplication, and I say yet because it's coming. I feel very confident in saying it's coming. It'll be just a matter of what is duplicated. Okay, here we go. Ooh, little retro frame foil birds. You know, this used to be, like when this set first came out, a retro frame foil Birds of Paradise was a huge deal. I think these used to be upwards of $30. That is not the case anymore, but this is probably still in like the 6 to 8 range, I think. But hey, that is still that's good value. I will take a retro frame foil birds. Love that it has the pool symbol there. That's phenomenal. Okay, well, there's some duplication. You don't typically see the same versions. Usually you're like, oh, I got the borderless, and then I got the retro frame, and then I got a pack foil. But doubling up on my borderless Entombs it's not the worst place to be. I will absolutely take that. Very cool. Especially if we're in the range of like 10, 11, like 8 to 10 bucks. Like, that's a good spot to be. All right, Retro Frame, Decimate, and then a Grim Lavamancer. So as our second Lavamancer of the box. Retro Frame Foil Counterspell. That's actually pretty cool. Is that our second Retro Frame Foil Counterspell? I think it might be. Caretaker. And commons and uncommons. All right. Sweet. You can do worse. You can do worse than a Retro Frame Foil Birds in an Entomb. We are at 5 mythics. Hoping that we see at least a couple more, and hopefully it's something good, right? Like, I don't know, Sylvan Library or something like that. Definitely one of the draws. We have also notably not seen like Enlightened Tutor, Mystical Tutor, or Worldly Tutor yet, or Gamble for that matter. So, okay, here we go. Boy, if the Force of Will and Vamp Tutor weren't there, this would start to feel real bad right about now. So there is Gauntlet of Power, a borderless foil. That is our third Gauntlet of Power of the box. We did talk about that. It's a thing. Okay. Hey, well, there's at least a Mystical Tutor. Sweet. Mystical Tutor borderless, probably in the neighborhood of about $9-10 bucks. So that is also good value. We will take that. Borderless foil, Mystical Tutor is not a bad place to be. Little Royal Assassin after that in the retro frame. And then we conclude with Triskelion and the pack foil. Hey, foil retro frame Nature's Lore. Actually, probably in the neighborhood of like $4. That's pretty sweet. That is pretty sweet. I think the regular is like $2, so that's cool. We'll take that. That is maybe our third retro frame counterspell in this box. That is weird. All right. Slice and dice. Okay, 3 Gauntlets of Power, huh? Cool. All right, next pack. Nevertheless, this box is definitely in the plus EV territory at this point in time. Hey, you know what? As far as rares are concerned, Mystic Remora is not a bad place to be. Not at all. Retro frame. Borderless foil Mystic Remora. Gosh, probably maybe in the neighborhood of like $8 to 10 bucks as well. Pretty good value target though. That is, you can, I don't want to say you can do worse, but like that's pretty good. We'll take that. We will take that all day long. Followed by a borderless Windborn Muse. There is our third Grim Lavamancer, this time in the retro frame. So as kind of noted earlier, we have the borderless, we have a pack foil, and now we have a retro frame. Oh, but there's that third Entomb. That is duplication. That will help us. Perfect. Again, probably in the neighborhood of like 10 to 12 bucks as an Entomb. That's great. That kind of duplication I can do with retro frame foil Chain Lightning. Pretty sweet. A borderless Rada. Drownless Crusade again. And our John Avon Mountain. Okay, all right. If we can squeeze any more of that, I'm actually really, really happy with the rare selection overall, despite like no Enlightened Tutor, which is like 18 to 20 bucks. Definitely the top end of the rares. Or like Exploration would be another one. That's like in like 15 range, but overall, really good rare selection. Triple Entomb, I'm fine with that. If we can squeeze a couple more good mythics out of this, I think this box has a chance to be quite good. All right, 3 packs left. Windborn Muse is a borderless foil. Not what I really wanted to see there. Okay. But how about a Sylvan Library? There we go. I asked for one and I got one. There is a borderless Sylvan Library. Excellent pull. The borderless one definitely carrying a little bit more value than, say, the regular or the retro frame. I think this is still upwards of about 25 bucks. So that is pretty sweet. Pretty sweet indeed. That's perfect. Now I feel... Oh, and a Sneak Attack. I know Sneak Attack isn't like a value hit anymore, which is really weird to say out loud, like when you're opening like old Masters products and you're like, oh, Sneak Attack, it's like $5, but I'm okay with it. Like, I still think this is an extremely playable card, especially for, you know, in the commander aspect of things. So that's really cool. I'm not displeased with the retro frame Sneak Attack. Probably in the neighborhood of like $5, be my guess. And then a Solkanar, the Swamp King, as a pack foil, renewed faith, Peregrine Drake, White Mane Lion. And into our commons and uncommons. Sweet. I'm going to take a second just to reset these really quick. I think technically value probably goes like that, like 50, 45, and like 25. But that's great. We've seen boxes with a much, much worse selection of mythics. That is also 8 mythics, by the way. Tends to be on the higher end of the scale for these boxes for mythic counts. Okay, 2 packs left. Any other juice? Get out of town. Get out of town. Let's go. Let's go! Retro frame foil, Force of Will. That is the hit. I believe this carries more value than even the borderless foil, so that is friggin' beautiful. I want to say like 70 to 75 for this. That is a smoke show hit. Hello, Force of Will. Good to see you again. Boy, so I was talking about tempting fate because my last box did also have double Force of Will in it. Sometimes it pays off. Not bad. Woo! All right, after that, a borderless Jester's Cap. It officially doesn't matter what's in the rest of this pack or in the last pack. We're gravy. But how about a Yawgmoth? We'll take that. You know what? Snoop Yogg is still in the house. It's still a good card. We will take that. I think Retro Frame Yogg is like 12. So it's weird because I'm going to put it over on the right side temporarily, but then I'll adjust it. It just doesn't belong on top of Force of Will. Umbilicus is the pack foil. Little foil borderless Street Wraith. That's kind of cool. Turnabout. In fact, fair play. War Marshal. And into our commons and uncommons after that. Wow. Okay. Get out of here with this box. Woo. Holy moly. Well, this is like pretty close to a dream DMR box. Like, it really doesn't get a lot better if you're being reasonable. Like, you could be like, oh, I want all the Enlightened Tutors and how about 4 Force of Wills? But, like, expectation-wise, reasonable expectation-wise, like, this is pretty close to the dream box. Here we go. Last pack. Oh, I saw the Retro Frame foil blue, and I was like, no way. No way. In fact, it was not. But we do have a Retro Frame foil Stroke of Genius. It's actually kind of cool. Into Decimate Borderless. Kind of gross. Into a Solkanar in the Retro Frame. Yep, pretty bad. And we conclude with an Opposition. Pack foil Opposition. All right. Juggernaut. Open Eyes. And Gerard's Verdict. And there are commons and uncommons. Yeah, so the last pack didn't bring us much extra. And that's totally fine. This box is kind of awesome. Kind of nutty. Okay, so on the rougher mythic side, we talked about the duplication, right? Is it your friend? It was not on this side when we talked about triple gauntlets of power. Thankfully, we only had 1 World Gorger Dragon and not 4. Sneak Attack is a perfectly acceptable mythic. I am not upset with that, but it's just value-wise, probably like between 4 and 5 would be my guess. But then we have this pile. Retro Frame Foil Force Will. Again, I think between 7 and 75. Pack Foil Force Will should be about 50. Vamp Tutor Borderless about 45. Sylvan Library Borderless about 25. Yawgmoth in the Retro Frame about 12. Triple Entomb probably between the $10 and $12 range for each of them. Mystical Tutor probably between 8 and 10. And then some other really good rares here between the Borderless Foil, Mystic Remora, again, probably between 8 and 10. Birds, Retro Frame Foil, probably like between 7 and 9. And then Maze of Ith, 5 to 6, 6 to 7, something like that. And Vortex, like 4, and then plus a few playable lands. Pretty much about as much you could ask for. I suppose there's probably some triple Force of Will boxes out there, and that's fine. But this box is everything you could ask for and more from me. So, DMR, kind of talked about this. Like, you know, I would not expect every box to be like this. I just want to, like, say that up front. But for what collector boxes and a lot of other sets are pushing right now, and at least the possibilities versus in DMR, I do think that this is still a decent, you know. It's, again, you're going to have a wide range. You're going to have some really bad boxes where it's like, you might only see like 70, 80 bucks out of it. And then you're going to have some boxes up there where you could push 250, 300. So anyways, that's going to do it for me today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, do me a favor. If you're not subscribed already, hit the subscribe button for me, hit the like button for me, and by all means, drop me some comments. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much, everybody, and be well.